Welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes with D365. I'm Marni Hall and I work in the City Auditor's Office. Have you ever gone into a grocery store after they have remodeled and asked, where did they move the peanut butter? You might feel like that the first time you navigate through D365. Today I'm here to help you find a few items that have changed just slightly. Let's start with searching for a general budget reservation. I'm going to a conference and I'm trying to find my travel encumbrance. I don't remember the number, but my name will be in the title and it was issued in 2019. The first thing I'll do is navigate to my favorites because I use general budget reservations quite frequently, and so I have booked it as a favorite. This gives me every GBR that has ever been issued. I need to narrow it down. So I click on the filter. Again, I don't remember the number, but I know that my last name will be in the title. And I know that it was issued in 2019, so I'm going to say after January 1st, 2019, and apply the filter. And if I click on the filter again, it hides that part of the screen. Okay, I got 3 results, and I'm only interested in the ones that are BR to E's. So I apply that additional filter, and I'm down to 2. I can see here that the second one is the one I'm interested in. But when I click on it, the preview window at the bottom is no longer there. That is no longer something that is available in D365. But never fear, you can still get to the same information. To go to the top ribbon and select Options, Page Options, Change View, I want to see the lines. So I'll click the line view and it brings up the line details of that document. Okay, good enough. I got what I needed, but now I want to go back to the list of documents that I have filtered on. How do I get there? I don't see an exit or close, but up here in the right corner is an X to close the screen. That takes me back to the list that I had before. All right, so now I want to do this again, but now I want to find the purchase order for this vendor. But I don't want to lose this screen. I want a new screen. So if I click on in the upper right corner, open a new window. Now I have a new window of including my GBRs. And then I also have a clean window that I can now open for all purchase orders. Again, I've already marked all purchase orders as a favorite. So I go to favorites, all purchase orders. This is going to give me a list again of every purchase order ever issued. I need to filter it down to find the one I need. So I'll go to the filter. I don't know the number, so I hit add. And I want to add the vendor name. So I'm just going to type in vendor. There it is, vendor name. Check that box and insert. And I know that my vendor name starts with the word government. So I'll type that in, begins with government, and apply. All right, now I'm getting closer. I now have the vendor account number, 7186. I'm going to further filter on it. Apply that. I'm also going to hide the filter panel on the left. Okay, but I still have not narrowed down enough. We've actually issued a fair amount of POs to this vendor. So now I'm going to further filter on confirmed POs. There we go. Now we're down to 3 POs, and I believe the one I'm interested in is the last one. But again, when I click on that document, the preview pane at the bottom is no longer there, and so I can't see into what is included on this purchase order. But again, never fear. Same as the GBRs. You just go to the options section on the ribbon, go to page options, change view, look at the lines. There I have it. There is the line detail of that PO. So it's different, but yet I was still able to get the information I needed. So now I'm going to close out of that. I'm back to my PO list page. The next thing I'm going to show you is how entering financial dimensions is just slightly different compared to how you currently do it in Dynamics. So I'm going to go back to, oh, I must have closed out of the other, I must have closed out of my GBR page. I'm going to go back to GBRs, General Budget Reservations, and I'm going to just create a new GBR real quick, just so I can get to the part where you're entering the financial dimensions. I'm going to click on New. What I plan to do here is buy some office supplies. You need a BRPR for that. So there's that. Tab down. I'm just going to give, I'm going to say 2201 is my division, office supplies. Tab down. I'm going to give it an end date of, whoops, of this year. And then I'm going to hit OK. All right, and now I'm going to add a line. I have to give it the description on transaction text has to say what is it that I'm buying. And then, okay, now I'm to the point where I really want to demonstrate. So in Dynamics, when you would enter in the financial dimensions, if you knew your dimensions already, you could just key them in, and if you selected tab, it would take you into the next field for the next dimension. Well, that doesn't work in D365, but you can still enter the dimensions directly, but you just hit enter after each dimension, and it'll automatically advance you to the next field. So let's give that a go. I'm the auditor's office, hit enter, that advances. My division, hit enter. My object class, hit enter. My main account, hits enter. My fund, hits enter. My sub-fund, hit enter. And finally, the last required field is the program, and I'm just going to put a citywide program in for simple and ease. I hit, though, once I hit tab at that point, it does take me to the next field, but if you hit tab within ledger account, it does not advance you to the next dimension. So here I am in quantity. I'm just going to hit in 100 with a unit price of $1 and tab out. And as I tab out, I got my green budget check. And now I'm going to add another line because I want to show you the other way of entering the financial dimensions. This is how many of you might do it anyway. If you click the down arrow, you get this screen, and the first thing I'm going to put in is department, which is my department, and here you can see I select that, and when I select that department, it automatically advances to division, and it only gives me the divisions that are allowable for the department. So I'm going to pick city auditor, and it advances to object class. I'm purchasing materials, and then it goes on to main account, and it only gives you the main accounts that are associated with materials. I pick office supplies, and now it only gives me the funds that are allowable with my division. And I click general fund, and then it only gives me the sub funds that are allowable with the fund. I'll pick the operating, and then I'm going to pick just the citywide program. And I'll tab to get to the quantity field, in 100 in a unit dollar, tab out, and I've got my green check. Okay, so I got a green check. I'm good to go. I'm ready to submit this to workflow, and I'm like, whoa, where is that yellow bar that I used to select to submit my items to workflow? Well, that's gone, but that's okay. The workflow is now on the ribbon up above. So I'm going to click on workflow, submit, and then you get that box that you can add a comment if you want. If you have additional information you want to share with the people reviewing this document, that's a great place to put it. And then I hit submit. See, it's just a little bit different. You just have to get used to it, but mostly the same. I think most people prefer to do the drop down arrow when entering the financial dimensions, because then that really walks you through it, and it makes sure that you have the right combination of dimensions in your ledger account. Okay, well, that kind of wraps it up. I hope that this helped you see that while things might look different in places, they are still mostly the same. It just takes a couple tries to get used to it. So thank you for taking the time to watch this episode of 10 Minutes with D365.